I bought a disreputable Huawei MediaPad M5. And there's a couple goofy things about this tablet, so I wanted to maybe point them out real quickly. Otherwise, I'm super happy overall with the tablet. I think it's got a good looking screen. I've changed my mind on tablets. I think I prefer an LCD over an OLED because I plan to use the heck out of this thing and maybe use it as a second display in the living room and stuff like that. So uh, I I have cameras, uh, whoa, cameras that I would like to leave up and things like that. So it's 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 a good device. The sound quality is amazing. I don't have any complaints about just the general features. It's but the USB port. So first off, it's not a USB-C port. They even pointed out in the manual, and it is meant to charge at 18 watts, and it is meant to connect to a Qualcomm 2.0 port. So if you plug up the USB-C port to a normal USB-C charger, it is not going to negotiate anything over 5 volts, just period. So that's kind of a bummer because it means that your wonderful USB-C chargers aren't going to charge this device quickly. You're just going to get slow charging. Um, but if you happen to have Qualcomm chargers lying around, which I do, then usually they're blue or green, I guess. Like this one just has one Qualcomm port, so that this is a special Qualcomm 2.0 port, and I don't have a USB-C port handy, but I did test all this. But you can see, yeah, it's going to negotiate 18 watts, and this is the fast charging. So you're going to be limited to the charger that came with the device or any other Qualcomm 2 charger, such as this generic charger. And then of course, if you put it in a uh, non Qualcomm port, you're going to get, like, we're pushing 5 watts now. And I think with USB-C, it was negotiating, close to 10 watts, but it's definitely the slow charging. So that's kind of a bummer because I have a battery, you know, thing that has USB-C, and it's not going to make this thing charge fast. So that's kind of a bummer. Other than that, the other workarounds, the volume and power buttons are horribly placed. They're on the side here, and they're just never where you need them. And my workaround for that is, with the fingerprint reader on the front, you can always unlock the device. There's a shortcut you can add that will lock the device if you don't have a case. And this case, by the way, was like $10. It's an infill land, and I'm okay with it. I prefer a naked tab, but whatever. So yeah, so first issue is locking because it's really inconvenient to find the power switch, when you're just trying to put the tablet down or whatever, to lock it. And then same goes with the volume. So I actually added this, what's the app called? Volume in Notification app, and it's been super awesome because now, like, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm browsing the net or whatever, I can always mute it, or I can just tap volume up and down. So Android has some shortcomings, but this is a great app to have. Mine mine occasionally has died, which hasn't happened lately, but there are some power settings in the settings that you can adjust, but you can always just open the app and activate it again, and it'll show up again. So can't say enough about that app. And then other than that, it's just Android. I've got the January security update. It's now late February, and this month there were tons of exploits for everything from PNGs to other, x86 related things. And I don't know. I don't have the updates yet, and you can no longer unlock this device. Huawei doesn't and refuses to give out unlock codes. So there's websites you can purchase them off of. It's just I I'm I'm sick of Android. This can be my last Android device, because I just think it's gross. So, but if you're happy, if you're happy with it, this is a great tablet. And for me, I do like the touch interface. So I'm taking all the bad so I can have, a 1.5 pound device that I can cruise the internet on. I guess, yeah. I don't have much to say. I'm not a big reviewer. I just wanted to point out that USB-C is a lie. The volume placement stuff, this is how I worked around it. And other than that, I don't have any problems with this tablet. And the sound is amazing. I've actually been listening to Spotify on it, which is something I never did on any of my Android devices. So I'm very impressed with the sound. And LTE connectivity is good too. The dialer works. I couldn't get voice dialing to work. Like I couldn't just yell it at the assistant and have it dial somebody, but I can receive calls and make calls and text messages, and all that works fine on T-Mobile and Google Fi. So right now I just have a data card in here, but I put my primary card in here and everything worked great. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I was drawn into this tablet partly because I wanted a pen interface, which now I'm kind of bummed about. There's not really any awesome app for somebody like me, because I refuse to buy Adobe shit, and so it's just not a ton of benefit. But like for Google Keep, which I do use a lot, you can draw pictures and things like that. But I don't think I'm going to benefit a lot from the pen. I think the M5 Pro, I think it has a denser screen. I can't remember. It definitely has a slightly overclocked processor, but whatever. It's like I said, it's been working fine for me. And meh, pen aside, meh. I think it's worth what I paid, and to have the LTE options is super sweet. So I guess the only other, my killer apps that I put on, being the person that I am, MQTT I love, and this MQTT Dash I think is really great. And this is kind of my heads up. This is where I run my my lights and my garage doors, and I monitor my power. And I love this app, even though it doesn't have a ton of flexibility, but you can make it do cool stuff. Like I time out if I haven't gotten a reading in a while. I can tell how up to date that reading truly is and things like that. So yeah, I love that app. I love Yahtzee. If you're a Kodi user, you absolutely have to have Yahtzee. And actually, this go around with the tablet, I've really gotten into KDE Connect. If you're a Linux user, I suggest checking this out, because then you can transfer files really easily. The security model is really straightforward. You pair your device with your local Linux boxes, and then you could even set up commands to run. I don't have a need for that, but you could if you wanted to do something quick. And you can use touch input and keyboard input for your device that you're displaying on. So essentially this becomes a mouse and keyboard, and that's super convenient. And probably one of the biggest things, and now I'm running it on my phones too, is you can KDE Connect can find your device, which actually let me see if I can demo that real quickly. The interface is kind of clunky on the desktop side. In fact, yeah, I just opened it up. Where did it go? Let's see if we can find it. So you got this little thing. There's my Huawei. Oh, well, locate is right there. So you get this nice little, and all this happens locally over your network. And then there's a found button. So, no more yelling at Google to find your tablet, which, that's possible too, but that requires the whole internet. So that's really great. And then, yeah, just sending files back and forth is nice, even if it's a little clunky. It's definitely easier to send. Well, it's not that bad. Like sending, like I think I sent a video that I created, and I watch it on my tablet, and it's, the process is like essentially you browse and then just send it. So it's fine. Anyway, that's all I can think about that I can contribute to the conversation of this device. Yeah. I'm afraid to click on shit, because videoing things, I never know. I disable YouTube because that app is just horrible. Even though I watch a lot of YouTube, but the app is just so horrible. I never watch it on using that app. Yahtzee, I already said. Google Voice, for my other phone number and stuff. And then Hangouts, which is dying, but that's super useful because then your tablet can receive calls and make calls. And yeah, there's no killer pen apps other than Google Keep, maybe, which I have all my ideas and shit in there, books that I want to read. This little math thing, I mean, again, this isn't adding to the conversation, but 1 + 1 equals but I'm smart enough to figure that out. There is some good help in the tutorial that actually explains all of the stuff you can actually use if you're a math person, and it's it's nice. You have tangents and sine, cosine, square roots, percents, sets. I don't know what this one is. I didn't do enough math to know what that is. But yeah. Alright, I'm done. That's it. It's a good tablet. It's venerable. I think it's too bad Huawei is getting such a bad rap right now. China and whatnot. As if our devices aren't snooping on us already. I mean, we have vulnerabilities from 2008 on every single Intel processor that is a privacy concern, and yet Huawei, who Huawei's the bad guy. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there, but that's my review. Make sure you know this isn't USB-C. That's my review.